So, we are over halfway through 2025, and I have only now made up my mind to do my best and worst movies of 2024 videos. I normally have these end of the year videos put off just a few months because there are often some movies that I want to see before I finalize them, but this year it got so late that I almost decided to not bother. However, I have even yet gotten a couple of requests to do them, so I thought, why not? I love top 10 lists anyway. Now, 2024 was a garbage year to be me, and so far this year it hasn't been a whole lot better. But, if it's the Lord's will, things are just about to turn around for me, fingers crossed. 2024 was a pretty good year for film though, to the point that I am totally satisfied with how my list turned out. So, without further ado, here are my picks for the top 10 best movies of 2024.
Number 10.
Sure, I'll start off this list with the year's Best Picture winner, Anora. I've shied away from some films by Sean Baker due to their subject matter, with the exception of The Florida Project, which is a beautifully tragic tour de force. The acclaim for Anora made me decide to see it, and yes, it falls into that same camp. It's beautifully tragic. Mikey Madison is remarkable as this prostitute who hastily marries the son of a Russian oligarch, and while the movie does drag on quite a bit in the second third, the final shot had me fully evaluating the film I just watched, and made me feel for the lead character in a way I didn't see coming. It's a film that humanizes sex workers, while at the same time demonstrating what a waste of a perfectly good life prostitution is.
Number 9.
For me, 2024 saw a holy trinity of religious-themed horror flicks. The first of these would be the underrated Never Let Go, which just barely missed my top 10, and the second of these takes the number 9 spot, and that is Heretic. It's almost surreal seeing this kind of turn for Hugh Grant, who's both scary and charismatic as this psycho who locks two Mormon missionaries in his house and gives lectures using board games as an analogy for religions. It's an engaging thriller that offers challenging questions about yourself, why you are who you are, and why you believe what you do. How much of it is your own free will, or could it all just be submission to control? Questions that, mind you, do not shake my faith, but are absolutely worth considering. One thing's for sure, I'm never going to look at Blueberry Pie the same way again.
Number 8.
The first of two animated features on my list, The Wild Robot. DreamWorks Animation's best movie in a good number of years, it tells a moving story of all the seasons of motherhood, and it surprisingly does so using a robot getting lost on a forest creature-inhabited island and finding new purpose raising a baby goose. And with unique animation, top-notch voice work, and wonderful score and original songs, The Wild Robot is a great film for kids and parents to experience together.
Number 7.
At number 7 is going to be the lowest profile movie on my top 10, Dee Dee, a coming-of-age dramedy about a 13-year-old from Taiwan living in America and getting wrapped up in the early days of internet culture. For someone like me who was that age when the movie is set, it's both a joy to watch for how much it reeks of 2008, and palpably relatable for its authentic depiction of the young teenage desire for popularity and fitting in. The acting is lively, the family drama is moving, it's a pleasing love letter to anyone who has endured a phase of yearning for a sense of belonging. It's readily available on Amazon Prime, check it out if you haven't.
Number 6.
Disney and Pixar had a more than welcome return to form, not to mention a return to gauging their audience, with Inside Out 2. What could have so easily been nothing more than a cash grab was made with all the passion that we used to expect from Pixar. There's less a sense of adventure here than the first movie, but it matches it in terms of the impact it leaves. The laughs come just as often, the characters from the Vault of Secrets had me rolling, and Riley's internal battle with the new emotion of anxiety really hit home for me right now. The emotional climax was the biggest gut punch, and it's what solidified this movie as a very worthy successor. With Pixar apparently going all in on sequels after this movie became a mega hit, we can only hope that the ones to come are at least somewhere near as soulful.
Number 5.
I didn't know Jesse Eisenberg could write and direct, but he demonstrated that he has more skills than just acting, with A Real Pain, a vacation movie about two Jewish cousins who go to Poland to visit the old home of their Holocaust-surviving grandmother. Kieran Culkin is utterly captivating in the role of Benji, who may be my single favorite character from this year of film, a fella who, in his cousin's words, lights up a room and then takes a crap on everything inside. He presents as cheerful and eccentric, but he's harboring a lot of pain, and he wants his cousin to understand and feel that pain, carry a little bit of the burden. But at the same time, he's concerned about crossing the fine line between that and making it an imposition on his cousin's life. Culkin's acting and Eisenberg's writing present that conflict very well, making for a seamless blend of humor and heartbreak packed into a mere hour and a half.
Number 4.
At number 4 on my list is going to be Juror Number 2. Not a spin-off about Piglet's voice actor, but it is just shy of being a modern 12 Angry Men. I was lucky enough that one of the mere 50 theaters this movie opened to was in my neck of the woods, and I'm so glad it did. I was scared for the lead character, Justin Kemp, as he goes through an excruciating moral dilemma, getting called on for jury duty for a murder trial, and getting hit with the sudden realization that he is the one who caused the death involved. Extended scenes driven by nothing but dialogue had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I took no pleasure in thinking about what I would do in this extreme situation. Every single moment moves the drama forward. Even the subplot regarding the prosecuting attorney was interesting, and it all builds to surprising results in which the scale has been tipped in a way Justin hadn't intended. Whether or not it's Clint Eastwood's final hurrah, it is his best film in over a decade. A pox on Warner Brothers for how they threw it under the bus.
Number 3.
It may be walking through a minefield making such a movie as this right now, but Alex Garland pulled it off shockingly well with Civil War. The only major way this movie divided audiences was between those who liked the vagueness of the world building and those who didn't. Frankly, I think too much attention is brought to questions that ultimately don't matter, like how did Texas and California ever form an alliance? Well, there are two important points made with that writing decision. One is that this movie is not set in any particular year. States go from red to blue and blue to red. And the other is that this is not a partisan movie. What it does is present you with this portrait of an America overrun with citizen-on-citizen violence, and challenge you to ask where you see yourself in such a scenario. The theme of desensitization to violence extends from the big picture to the character level, with Kristen Dunst giving her greatest performance yet as a war journalist who has had to numb herself to the calamity to get the job done. This is without a doubt the darkest and most gripping of all road trip movies I've ever seen. The final shot that creeps onto the screen during the credits is enough to leave anyone shook. Or at least I should hope it is.
Number 2.
When the first Dune movie came out, it was being hyped all around as the next great space epic. When I saw it, though, I didn't really get it. It was just way too slow moving. However, Dune Part 2 is the movie I thought I was going to get the first time. One major factor in this is how much better paced it is. The first movie covered only the first third of the Frank Herbert novel. Part 2 covers the other 2/3, and yet it only runs 10 minutes longer. That should tell you enough. And it was with Part 2 that I saw why this is considered a classic story, because it now reaches the meat of the story with dozens of twists and turns, and the conflict within the main character gets truly riveting here. And the scope and cinematography by Greg Fraser are just something else, man. The opening scene in particular is a masterclass in visuals and in generating suspense. It took my breath away. It's a fabulous sci-fi epic and a terrific reminder of why I love movies in general.
Number 1.
My number 1 pick is a movie that was nowhere on my radar before its release. I only saw a couple of 15-second ads for it on YouTube, and I decided to check it out when it appeared on the Regal app. And man, did it ever take me by surprise. My number 1 greatest movie of 2024 is Longlegs. Yes, the third in my holy trinity of religious-themed horror movies from the year. A sort of Silence of the Lambs with a spiritual twist, it's about an FBI agent played by Micah Monroe investigating a string of murders that are all linked to one man who is never present when the murders happen. You feel every drip of terror and vulnerability that the heroine emanates, and Nicolas Cage's performance as the titular devil-worshipping villain is otherworldly, as if he really came straight from downstairs. Even if, admittedly, I would have liked to have seen just a sliver of where the hope is in the face of this evil, Longlegs really shows what the movie Nefarious mostly just talked about, and that is just how strong the power of Satan is, how it festers and permeates to the point that people will try to justify it, or else not even feel it, and how it can never be eradicated by mortal man. That, in addition to its creepy sets and unnerving atmosphere that never lets up, Longlegs rattled me to my core. I was honestly clinging to my wooden cross when I got home that night. It's the scariest movie I've seen in a long time, and my personal favorite film of 2024. Also, bonus points for being the only horror movie in existence to know that the Book of Revelation is not plural. So, what were your favorite movies of 2024? Whatever they are, let me know in the comments, and be sure to stick around for my top 10 worst movies of 2024. That's a wrap, thank you for watching, like and share, subscribe for more. This is Pop Culture, I'm Alex Pop.